Look, Daddy, teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
That's right. That's right. Attaboy, Claire.
It is right, each and every time. That makes for a lot of angels and a lot of wings. The problem is that freshly winged angels aren't very good at flying. They're so excited about their newfound freedom and mobility that they become careless, arrogant, and overconfident. With reckless abandon, they zoom about the cosmos, dive and soar about the intergalactic void, often forgetting to adjust for gravity or the curvature of space. They fail to signal or shoulder check, cut each other off, speed up whenever approaching yellow flashing pulsars, and run right through red supergiants. And given this kind of behavior, the number of mid-space collisions starts to rise dramatically. A head-on crash of two angels could annihilate an entire solar system. A cherub accidentally plunging into a black hole is as devastating as the meeting of matter and antimatter, obliterating entire galaxies. This began to make God quite angry. For no sooner had he finished planting a new garden than some careless seraphim would dive-bomb the place and reduce to interstellar dust an entire week's worth of work. Something had to be done. God put his sandaled foot down. He imposed a complex set of flying commandments. Thou shalt not break the hypersonic barrier. Thou shalt not loop-de-loop. Thou shalt not make U-turns. Complete with a system of demerits, and should an angel accumulate enough demerits, he would temporarily have his wings clipped and be grounded. As was to be expected, the planet of grounded angels rapidly began to fill up. But luckily for the sentenced, it was not a gloomy prison, but rather a pleasant place, with meticulously groomed gardens, beautiful fruit-bearing trees, crystal clear rivers, and numerous species of exotic animals. The angels, however, were not happy. Not only did they have to walk everywhere, to add insult to injury, they would see beautiful birds joyously playing and flying around. The angels became filled with jealousy. They complained to God that it was not fair, especially about the birds, how their feet hurt from walking. But you know how God is. Too bad, he would say. So the angels began to plot amongst themselves and build vehicles to ride around on. They built the chariot, and then the bicycle, rickshaws, carriage, automobile, race car, trains, steam engine, luxury cruise liner, balloons, zeppelins, helicopters, aeroplanes, fighter jets, and eventually intercontinental, interplanetary, intergalactic star cruisers. Fairly soon, things on the planet of grounded angels were worse than they were in the rest of the universe. Vehicular congestion and traffic jams were commonplace. Pollution became worrisome. And most troubling of all, road rage had become an epidemic. A new hand sign emerged, a mudra that perfectly described and symbolized the source of all angelic rage and jealousy. It was called Flipping the Bird. God was wary of intervening a second time by imposing another set of laws. But as a wise man once said, if something doesn't work, then that is the best reason to keep on doing it. To his credit, and in his infinite wisdom, God decided to remain at arm's length from the process and convened a choir of angels. He gave them free rein, empowering them to invent the new set of laws. The assembly was harsh. The rules they came up with were complicated, onerous, and excessive. Upon even the slightest traffic violation or obscene gesture, the offender would lose their wings permanently. God was concerned. He asked the committee to ensure that what was proposed was really necessary. The power-drunk Grigori were insistent. It is the only way, they said. Reluctantly, God agreed to endorse their overly severe and punitive rules. But in his infinite mercy, and inspired by the trumpet of Gabriel, gave the grounded angels a gift, an instrument of warning, an eternal reminder of the risks of mobility and the perils of freedom, the traffic horn. Here is wisdom. Let those with ears hear. Every time a horn honks, an angel loses its wings.